Good morning, students, and welcome back to the new academic year. And 1 second, close your eyes and have a prayer. Okay, I hope all of you have got the textbook. And we actually started the chapter life processes. We are continuing. We are discussing about nutrition in a human being. That was the chapter we were discussing. So we are going to start human nutrition. You already studied there are two types of organisms, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs, they can make their own food by photosynthesis, and plants, example plants, and some bacteria also, they also can photosynthesize because of the presence of chloroplast. And other animals, most of the animals are heterotrophs. So this we were discussing. Now we are going to see nutrition in a human being. Food is very important for all living organisms because it is necessary for growth. If you want to grow, food is the raw material for growth, and food is providing us energy. Without food, we cannot get energy. So it is necessary for producing energy. And also it is necessary for repair work. Repair means if there is any old cells are replaced by new cells, and for this kind of repair work, when a wound is formed, new cells are produced. For all this one, food is needed. And you can see in human nutrition, the food is digested in a long tube which starts from the mouth and end with the anus. And this long tube is called, you already know, it is called alimentary canal. So alimentary canal start with the mouth and end with the anus. So this is the chapter we are going to see. So nutrition in human beings. Human nutrition. Actually, the food is taken through the mouth, and you can see the alimentary canal, human alimentary canal, start with the mouth and end with the anus. So you can see, let us see the mouth. You can see, if you examine, the food is ingested or it is taken into the mouth. When the food is taken into the mouth, you can see mainly the food will be mixed with saliva and make it soft. And also the chewing of food also is taking place, and after chewing and mixing with the saliva, the food will be soft. And when the food, what is the function of the tongue? The function of tongue is mixing the food with the saliva. That is the main function of the tongue. So in the mouth, what is happening is mainly this one. The food will be chewed, and it will become physically changed to small pieces, like a chalk piece. When it become powder, like that, you can see the physical change, no chemical change, and you can see the food will be chewed, and also it will be thoroughly mixed with the saliva. And one chemical change also is taking place. Saliva contains a substance, it is called saliva. So you can see the mouth, so many salivary glands are there, saliva is produced. Saliva contains an enzyme. You already studied what are enzymes. Enzymes are biological catalysts. Catalyst, any substance which speed up a chemical reaction is called like catalyst. So enzymes are biological catalysts. So what is the change that is happening to the food when it is in the mouth? When a carbohydrate or starch is a carbohydrate. When starch mixed with the saliva, it contains an enzyme. What is the name of the enzyme? You have to remember. Salivary amylase. to contain an enzyme, salivary amylase. It will start the breaking down of starch, and when the starch break down, and it will become what is called glucose or sugar. It will change it to sugar. So this thing you can easily check. If you take some cooked rice in your mouth, little, 1 or 2, some cooked rice in the mouth, and chew it for a long time and keep it in the mouth. After some time you can see it will become sweet, slightly sweet. So because what is the change that happened? Starch, the saliva contain an enzyme. The enzyme is called the salivary amylase, and when salivary amylase mixed with the starch, you can see it will be changed to what is called glucose. And because of that, the glucose is sweet in taste, and that is the reason why there is sweet. You feel sweet taste in the mouth. So that is the first change that is happening in the mouth. So alimentary canal start with the mouth. These are the changes. Once again, the food will properly mix with the saliva with the help of tongue. And this is the tongue. And it will mix with the tongue. And the saliva contains a very important enzyme. And the enzyme is called salivary amylase. And when salivary amylase combine with the starch, starch means if you are eating rice, it is starch, and it will become what is called glucose or sugar. It will change to sugar. And you can see the food, it will not remain in the mouth for a long time. Slowly it is going down through a tube, and the tube that is going down, it is called esophagus. Mouth cavity, another name is buccal cavity, both are same. When the food has a small balls, you can see it will come down through the tube, esophagus. When it is coming through the esophagus, you can see that part, when the part where the food is there, that part will slightly expand. And then you can see it will make a wavy movement. The food will be moving in a wave-like fashion, like this, when it is going down. It is when it moves through the esophagus, it is making a wavy movement because bolus of food, small balls of food is going down, and it will make a wavy movement, and this movement is called the peristalsis movement. The food is going from the mouth to the stomach through esophagus, and when it is moving, you can see it is making a movement, and the movement is called the peristalsis movement. And let us see what is next part of the alimentary canal. The food will reach the alimentary canal, esophagus. As the food will reach stomach. So now the food is here. There are glands in the walls of the stomach. Is a wall inside here. There are glands in the walls of the stomach, and these glands are actually called gastric gland. These small glands in the walls of the stomach is called gastric gland. The gastric gland produce a juice, a secretion. The secretion is called gastric juice. Gastric juice means secretion produced by the stomach, and this will be released into the food, and you can see the food will be. The stomach also will make a movement, peristalsis movement, and it will mix this gastric juice. It will be thoroughly mixed with the food in the stomach. What does this gastric juice contain? Gastric juice contain mainly three things. This juice. Saliva contains salivary amylase. Here the gastric juice contains three things. It contains hydrochloric acid, a weak concentration of hydrochloric acid. Second very important one, enzyme is there, and food digesting enzyme, it is called pepsin. What are the things in gastric juice? Third one, it also produces mucus. Okay, let us see. The food that is coming from the mouth is alkaline. and it has to be made acidic because this enzyme, this is a protein digesting enzyme. If you are eating fish or meat or anything, it may mainly contain protein. This pepsin is a protein digesting enzyme, and for the digestion, pepsin to work, it needs acidic medium. The food that is coming from the mouth is alkaline. Now it has to be acidic, and that is the one function of to make the medium acidic medium. Second one more, actually that question is there in the textbook, but the answer is not there. Why this hydrochloric acid again produced? If there is any microorganism present in the food, harmful microorganism present in the food, it will be killed by this hydrochloric acid. So it is protecting our mouth from microorganism. So that is the function of HCl. One, making the food acidic. Food was alkaline because saliva is alkaline, and it is making the food acidic. And second one, protect the food from any bacteria or any microorganism. Second important thing present in the gastric juice is pepsin. Pepsin is a protein digesting enzyme. Protein will be slowly digested. Protein will be digested. It is not completely digested. Protein digestion will start. Third one, mucus. Acid, hydrochloric acid is an acid, and this acid may be harmful to the stomach. And to protect our stomach from this acidity, mucus is produced. Mucus, like a mucosa or something like that one. It is produced in the stomach, and so that our stomach will be protected. And when you have heard about acidity, some people are talking about acidity. Why there is acidity problem? Because if they are not eating food at the right time, acid will be produced. It may cause wounds in the stomach, and you can see a lot of problems, ulcer and so many problems can develop. So that is what is acidity, we usually called acidity. So these are the changes happening to the food in the stomach. Mainly you can see protein will be affected, the protein, and finally it will become amino acid. That is the last part, and it will be digested here. Now the food is slowly moving from the stomach to the small intestine. This is the small intestine, and there is a special type of muscle at the entrance. This kind of muscle is called sphincter muscle. This sphincter muscle, it will open and the food will slowly go inside. Food will come. When the food comes here, then only it will be open, and then when it opens, the food will move down to the small intestine. The first part of the small intestine, it is not labeled in the textbook, it is called the duodenum. Two important glands are collected here. One gland, very big, the biggest gland in our body, that is the liver. One gland is called the liver. And the second gland, it is here, and it is called the pancreas. Two glands are connected here. Pancreas is somewhat a gland like this. Pancreas, this is liver, this is pancreas. Liver and pancreas. These two glands, the liver, secretion of the liver, it is called bile, B-I-L-E, bile. It will be collected in a special sac. This sac is called gallbladder. From the gallbladder there is a duct tube, and this through tube the bile secretion of the liver, it will come to the small intestine. And from here also one more pancreas, its secretion also will come to the small intestine through a tube. So you can see both the tubes will be joined before they join the small intestine or duodenum. So two secretions, one secretion of the liver which is called bile, and pancreas secretion, it is called pancreatic juice. pancreas, pancreatic juice. Pancreas and pancreatic, two secretions, it will come mixed with the food. Once again, food will move from the stomach slowly to the small intestine. First part of the small intestine is called the duodenum. Here there are two glands are connected to the duodenum or this part of the alimentary canal and the small intestine. One is bile from the liver and the second one is pancreatic juice from the pancreas. Okay, now what is the function of bile? You can see the first, the bile is serving, food was acidic. The food that is coming from the stomach is acidic because it was mixed with the hydrochloric acid. And then now for the pepsin to work, the food should be alkaline. Bile make the food alkaline. Function of bile, one, it make the food alkaline. For the pepsin, there is a important enzyme, protein digesting enzyme to work, so it will make the food alkaline. That is the one function. Second important function, fat, if you are eating fat, for example oil or a butter or cheese like that, fat, you can see it will be emulsified. What is the meaning of emulsification of fat? What is emulsification? Emulsification means large oil or a lipid or a fat pieces, it will be broken down into small pieces. So you can see only it is there is no chemical change, like a chalk is powdered. You can see the fat will broken down to, you can see, simple pieces. And this is the fat. For oil, or it will be become small. It's only a physical change. And this is what is called emulsification of fat. What is the advantage of emulsification? You can see it is now it is easy for the enzymes to act, and that is the important function of liver. Liver, two function. One, make the food alkaline. Second one, it helps the emulsification of what? What is emulsification? Question can be asked. You can actually emulsification means the large pieces will be broken down to small pieces. Only a physical change, no chemical change. This is what is actually happening when you are washing a cloth. When you are washing a cloth or when there is oil in your body, put some soap. You can see it will become small pieces and it will be washed away. Same thing, you can see it is alkaline and it will become small pieces, and this is called emulsification. And you can see this pancreatic juice. Next one is pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice contain important enzymes. Two enzymes are there. One is lipid digesting enzyme, lipase. Then second one is protein digesting enzyme is called trypsin. Protein, actually it started digestion, but the digestion was not complete. It is called trypsin. So two enzymes, important two enzymes, lipase and trypsin. Lipase, lipid, lipid means fat. It will work on fat. You can see it will work on fat. Fat means oil, cheese or butter, this kind of things. Fat will be broken down. It will be digested to, the end product is fatty acid and glycerol. The product is fatty acid plus glycerol. So this is the end product of fat digestion. If you eat fat, it will be digested to fatty acid and glycerol. Trypsin, protein digesting enzyme. Protein will be digested to, you have to remember, amino acid. So protein is made up of amino acid and it will be digested to amino acid. So this is the most important thing that is happening in the small intestine when it mixes with pancreatic juice and also this is a long tube. You can see small intestine is a long tube. It is also containing so many glands which produce enzymes for digesting food. And you can see as the food is going through this You can see slowly it will be digested. The large pieces will be digested. Slowly it will be digested. Inside the small intestine again, small finger-shaped structures are there. You already so a part of the small intestine. Small finger-shaped structures are there. These part of the small intestine. This picture is part of the small intestine. Small finger-shaped structure. This is called villi. Plural villi. Singular is villus. Small projection inside the small intestine. The function of this one is the food is already digested. What is the end product of digestion? You can see starch. If you are eating rice, you are eating, it will become glucose. If you are eating fish, milk or anything which contains protein, it will be digested to amino acid. And if you eat fat, oil or anything, it will be changed to fatty acid and glycerol. Already it is here, fatty acid, that is the end product. Now, the function of villi, the food will be started absorbing. Now it is in a digested form, simple form, and you can see it will be slowly get into the villi, and then later it will be transported to liver and other part of the body, and the function of villi is to absorb the digested food. Why villi are finger shaped? The aim of this one is to increase the surface area. If it is not, if there are so many projection means, so the area is increasing. When the area is increasing, you can see finally the food will be easily absorbed. And when the food reaches the tip or end of the small intestine, small intestine is a long tube. When it reaches the last part, you can see the food will be completely absorbed. And the last part of the alimentary canal is large intestine. Now small intestine is coming. It will villi, all the food is absorbed. Lot of villi are there. Now it is connected with the large intestine. The place where the small intestine join with the large intestine, there is a small finger-shaped structure. It is called appendix. You already know about appendix. It is a structure. There is a disease called appendicitis, and if something happens to the appendix, you will get appendicitis. No special function for this one. And now the food, most of the food is the digested food is absorbed. Only undigested part is there. Now the food is undigested food. Food is undigested food. The water present in the undigested food, it will be slowly absorbed by the large intestine. So the main function is salt and water will be absorbed by the, you can see the food is moving, undigested food is moving, the water in the food is absorbed, and you can see as the food is moving to the tip of the large intestine, you can see the undigested food will be dry, and it will be collected in a sac called rectum. The undigested food will be collected at the in a sac called rectum. Finally, it will be allowed to go out through the opening called anus. The undigested food will be going through the anus, and it will be usually dry when it reaches here because all the water will be reabsorbed. So this is the end of digestion. I hope you understood some of the one or two questions you can try. What are the end products of food digestion? What is emulsification of fat? And what is the function of villi? And like this kind of question, you try to answer yourself. And okay, wish you all the best. Thank you.